Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Disney gift with purchase, the mini Steamboat Willie set. This is set number 40659. It has 424 pieces, and like I said, this was a gift with purchase. I think the Disney Shop at Home website had this as a promo for a while. The spend was like $150, and then after that, Lego had this on their website. I think the threshold was $100, and I think this is going to be kind of a hot item, but maybe they produced a lot of them. I unfortunately don't have the Lego Ideas Steamboat Willie. It's something I've considered getting, but it's, I think, appreciated in value a good amount. But when this one was announced, I was pretty excited, so I have several of these. I'm going to keep some sealed, I think, and I'm definitely going to build one, and I'm excited to take a look at it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Disney gift with purchase mini Steamboat Willie set, I wanted to say thanks for watching, and then to remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up and make sure you click that subscribe button. So as you can see, this build starts out with a really interesting Technic kind of core that allows for some of the functionality to come out, which a little bit surprised me. I wasn't sure that this was actually going to have the amount of functions that it did. I was also really impressed with how much they could pack in a pretty small package here. So the core element, the core builds of this boat are kind of all in that first bag there, and then moving on, you really start building out the exterior and building out kind of the details that are visible. But the internal stuff is really tightly designed, really compact, and really smartly done. Here there's a part that's a little bit repetitive. We have to make two of these kind of paddle wheels here for either side, and you have to use 16 of the 1x1s with the clip on them, but I thought it was pretty relaxing. And then we're going to build out the top, we're going to build out the cabin area, we're going to build up the smokestacks here, which feed into the functionality of this. We're going to add just a couple other extra details around the outside, and then we're going to complete this build. So I really liked this, and I talk at length about that in the rest of my review. So now back to the rest of the build for this Lego Disney gift with purchase mini Steamboat Willie set, and then on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Disney gift with purchase, the mini Steamboat Willie set. This is a really excellent set. There's some great techniques in here, some really cool design choices. I think it's a really good value for a gift with purchase. I think the Disney ones, the one that came with the light brick and the different stuff, that one was pretty unique, and I think this one's pretty unique too, and also just really well done. So I don't think I've actually featured the one that comes with the light brick, kind of the picture holder one, on this channel yet, but maybe I'll do that sometime in the future. But I think those are really strong Disney gift with purchases, and I don't think the threshold was too bad at all. So that's really nice to see. And the first thing we'll look at is the minifigure, because you do get one now. I think this is an exclusive figure, but it's not terribly different. I don't know. We have the Mickey head here, just the black torso, nothing on the midsection, couple dots on the legs there. Mickey head is really good, and then it has this special dual molded hat piece that has a little kind of bar coming out of it that goes into the hole on the top of the head there. Now, I actually have to look and see how this one compares to, say, the one from the Walt Disney Tribute camera set. Let me actually go grab that. Okay, so it looks like they're pretty similar. I'm assuming the same torso, same head. This one does have the hat. This one that came with the camera, which is the one on the right here, has dual molded legs, has the same printing of the dots there, but it has dual molded legs and then has extra printing around the feet for the legs there. So there's a little bit of a difference. I don't know if this one's going to be exclusive to this gift with purchase or not, but they're pretty similar. These kind of monochromatic, old school Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie figures. I think the hat's a nice touch, and I'm glad there's at least something down on the legs there. So anyway, that's an interesting comparison. And other than that, it's just a fine figure. Mickey figures, I think, are pretty collectible for certain people, and so that's nice that that's in here. And Steamboat Willie has a mouse figure in it, and then the rest of the build is this boat. So I would actually be interested to see how this compares scale wise to the Ideas one. I thought that one had like 700 pieces, or maybe it was more, maybe it was in the 1,000. I don't really know, but they did do a version of this a while ago. It has since retired. And actually, a store has one built near me that I have been looking at, but I haven't picked up yet. I'm not super thrilled with what they have it priced at right now, but I would be interested in seeing how this compares size-wise and technique-wise and everything. As you may have heard me say before, I do like having different scales or different sizes of kind of a similar model, just to compare and contrast how all the things are done here. But we can take a closer look at this boat here. The first thing I'll show is the bottom, and there's a few reasons for that. So we do have some rubber tires here, and then we have these not gears, but these kind of disc pieces that can also rotate. And there's and not an insignificant amount of technique in this, because there's some functionality that goes on there. They did a really cool thing with some of the color choices inside. For a set like this, or for many sets, they can sometimes use weird colors or obscure colors, or just colors that aren't really in the set, that aren't going to be visible, to do stuff. And this one had a thing where it did kind of green on one side. You can kind of just see those brackets right there, and then red over on this side, and that helps you stay organized, and it makes the build I think a lot easier, which is really nice, and just a really smart thing. There's also some other colors in here that are pretty unique, and the whole core of this really surprised me, because it does use some Technic bricks, which we can just see a little bit of right there, but they get covered up by these wheels here, or I don't know what these are called necessarily, but there is a little bit of a Technic core, and then you do some studs not on the side building with some brackets and stuff, and then you start building what are these, the bows, the stern, port, starboard, I don't know, I think the bows, and I don't know what was front or rear, so please tell me if you know about boats. But you build out these, and they're pretty similar. Actually, these pieces down here, this curve, are identical. We do use these big kind of hull pieces here, which I've seen used in many sets, but those are good. And then little sub-assemblies up here to kind of round out that curve there for the black kind of hull, the base of the boat here. And then moving up to the deck, we have a nice white stuff. We do use some studs on the side, and then a bracket here to clip those together, or not clip, but stud those together, which is really nice, using these slopes. We have just the curves with some plates underneath there, a bunch of plates here, and then we build up kind of this like cabin area. We have windows with no like glass window piece put in there at all, and this is all similar, right to left, like this way, cut down the middle, but it's not the same front to back. Now I'm assuming that this is the front with the flag here, so that's a little different. We do have a bucket there as well. We have the steering wheel up here, which is an interesting spot for it. Maybe some additional like smokestacks or a horn or something right there, using the candlestick piece. which is nice. Then we have these kind of pillars, smokestack type bits over here. At the rear, we have a like a hook or a hoist or a crane type bit here, using some nice pieces. This can kind of be spun around, it could be moved a little bit just because how that's built, but it looks really nice, which is great. And then we use some gray to make like some crates or some boxes or different stuff around there, which is really interesting. And other than that, like this section here and this section here are pretty similar, but there is some differences in here, and they use some Technic plates, and you can kind of see one in there that the holes are going through. But if Willie was going to stand there, there is a spot for them to stud down, which is really, really nice. And what we have is essentially these gears that are connected to the wheels are also connected to these, like, I don't know what I would call these. They remind me of, well, you see them on like big river boats and stuff like that, I feel like, or maybe just steamboats in general. And that's kind of the paddles that propel the boat to move. So if these were in the water and the steam was powering them, it would move through the water like that. I think that's probably what they're for, but I see these on there. So both of these have the axle going all the way through. It's connected to a gear that is connected to these tires. These just spins, extra stability there, but that's just spinning. And then what else there is, and you can maybe see that these kind of chimneys, smokestack type things, also have some Technic going through them, and they move. So let's see if I can, as this, you know, it's hard when I'm holding it at an angle here, but as this goes, let's see, how can I do this? You can kind of see them moving there. I have to keep some pressure there so they don't just fold off, but they go up and down just a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit they move, and that's very, very cool, well executed. The sound it makes is not terribly satisfying. Not anything like the sound that the camera made for that tribute camera there. But then you can roll this along and have those kind of bounce up and down like that, which is really, really good. Nice technique. Some of it was a little bit finicky, a little bit fragile. I think the box set, it's kind of an 18+ set. I felt that like putting some of these little slopes here had to be a little delicate with it, just because there's not a ton of structure underneath it holding it together. And small things like that, I don't think it, you know, I think many people of different ages and skill levels and whatever could build this just fine, but I did find it a little finicky. And then I think this is just excellent. I think this is really, really strong. I think it looks the part. I think it's great. I think the minifigure is really good. I love the functionality. It wasn't too complicated to build. It works well. So that's really great. One of the things that I think I would like is just one of those rounded tiles or something up here in black. I know they like having studs visible, but for me, I don't love the red axle right there, or even if they could have done that with a black axle, just because Steamboat Willie is very, very much a black and white thing, and so seeing the red down here isn't too much of an issue for me. Of course, seeing the colors on the bottom doesn't bother me that much. This red axle that you can see right there doesn't bother me because it gets covered up by that. It's just this one on the top, that's right on the top, that if you're looking at it from the side you might not see, but looking at it straight down, depending on where this is sat, that is pretty visible to me. And I suppose I might be able to swap it out for this black bar that you get an extra of for the flag there, and it might be worth doing. There might be other you know, black Technic axle pieces that could work there as well, and that's maybe something I can just modify myself. I'm a little surprised that they didn't do something like that or put a tile over the top. I would have liked I think the tile look would look really, really good. But if Lego wants to maintain some studs, I mean, I honestly think if they put tiles on these two, there's still enough stud stuff going around on the deck and on the border that, and at the edge here, that it could still work. So I think I would have liked to see that, but again, maybe that's something I can add to myself. Just a minor complaint, I suppose, and if I'm being really, really picky, that is something that I would have liked to see. But other than that, I don't really have much issues with this. I think this is really, really strong, really, really good value, actually. Like 400 pieces are, 424 pieces plus the minifig. That's potentially an exclusive minifigure for $100 gift with purchase. I don't know what these are going for in the aftermarket. Could be $20, could be $30. If they go away soon and Lego didn't produce that much, I could see these going up a considerable amount. And for the other Disney 100 with the light brick gift with purchase, I think some of those were going for $40, $50, $60, and then they ended up bringing it back. And depending on what kind of sets you buy to get these promotional items, I think if you sell them, and if they go up in value, you can get pretty good quote unquote deals, because you'll make, a considerable amount of your money back from the $100 spend. For the $150 spend, if you got this from Shop at Home Disney, it's a little of a tougher sell, but honestly, I think it's still quite good. I think it's still a really good value. So I'm very grateful that Lego didn't put this behind a very high threshold for people. I think there's a lot of good sets that are right around the $100 mark, or combining multiple sets that can get you here, which is really, really nice. And I think, if you were buying other stuff from the Shop at Home Disney, I think this was available if you were spending $150 or more on like anything, not just Lego or something. And I think I heard that they had maybe some shipping issues, so maybe it's taking a while for people to get these, but I'm not positive on that. I think $100 is super fair and really, really good, and I just think this is a great set, and I would love for them to do more stuff like this. This is probably among my favorite gift with purchases of the year, or in general. It's just a really phenomenal thing, and I'm so happy to have gotten it and gotten a few that I can hold on to or give as gifts or whatever else, because this is really, really special. And now I would just like to get the bigger version that they've done in the past, so I can compare them. That would be very, very fun for me, and nice to display them together and everything else. But I think this is good. I have a couple nitpicky things like the red up here, but I think this is quite good. So highly recommend it if you can get your hands on them. I think this is nice. And I don't know what Lego priced this at on their website. Maybe it was $20, maybe it was $40. A 400 piece set with the Disney tax, with an exclusive thing here. There's some big pieces like these hull pieces and whatever. I think there's a lot of small pieces too, but I think it's a really good set. One of the things that I don't know if I need to comment about, doing all these stacks for these like paddles here, it's a clip and then, a clip and then a 1x1 plate and then a clip and then a tile. You have to do 16 of those. I find that fine. I do a lot of botanical sets, and I'm used to sometimes seeing that kind of repetition, and for just 4 pieces like that, it doesn't bother me. It's sort of meditative and nice, so I didn't bother that. But I could see some people not liking some of the repetition there. I think this build does keep it pretty interesting and pretty unique. All the gear work and functionality on the inside, and then there's some differences to accommodate that, and I think it's a pretty interesting build. So it's nice to see that, even if there is a section that's somewhat repetitive. So very, very good in my opinion. I'll show the extra pieces here. We do get an extra bar thing, the Technic kind of pins, your 1x1s, your studs, your like bushings or whatever those are. This color, you get several of these, I think it's like a pinkish or purplish color that for a 1x1 that they use internally. And like I said, there's the green and the red in there, and there's some blue in there and some other stuff. So you get these small ones, and then just your 1x1s, your tiles, your studs, the bucket handle there, the bar element there. So those are all your extra pieces. Good to get those. And I kind of already covered the value, but I think a $424 set that's a Disney set that comes with a minifigure that's this good, packed with features, and looks really good as a display model for a $100 threshold, I think is super, super fair. So good on them. I mean, I think that's this is a really strong gift with purchase. So I'm very happy to see that, and glad I got to build it, and glad I got to share my thoughts with anybody watching. So very, very nice. I like it. If you like this video, click that thumbs up and give it a like. And if you like my other videos, make sure to click on the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Disney, other gift with purchases, and then just tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different price points, piece counts, sizes, shapes, new, old, retired, whatever, all that stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you want to support this channel and support my videos here, you can do that right here on YouTube with memberships and supers and thanks and all that wonderful stuff. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the channel, or on the channel description, in the video description on my channel page, and it's patreon.com/sobricks. So maybe consider checking that out. Every little bit helps, so thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. This is really, really great. So I'm a happy sailor here. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.